In this video, we're going to talk about converting turmeric into turmeric powder and getting this process for longer storage for eating throughout the year, maybe even longer. We're also going to talk about some of the health benefits of including turmeric in your diet. I've been eating turmeric for many years and it's helped me a whole lot. In fact, I can tell when I have forgotten my turmeric for a few days because my joints will ache.
Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave.
Hello and welcome to Bowtie Life. I'm Bowtie David. I've been gardening for a number of years now. I still consider myself a beginner and I'm still learning right along with the rest of you folks. And so we have had a bumper crop of turmeric this year. And I want to talk to you just a few minutes about what turmeric is. And we're going to cover some of those health benefits that I promised in the title. But a lot of people have never seen turmeric in its natural form unless you go looking at Whole Foods or somewhere to find the turmeric. Now, this here is how turmeric grows. There is a main root. Actually, this here is how it grows. There is a main root that you plant, which is what we're going to be doing with some of these here in a little bit, but in another video, I should say. But these things grow in what's called hands. And if you look at this little section right here, you can see it has fingers, and that's what they're called, fingers of turmeric. And this is the plant. This is what you pull out of the ground when you grow your turmeric. Now, this bigger root in here, I'm pretty sure on this one is the original chunk of root that I planted way back in, I don't know, I think it was April. And you can see here in this video is some of the ginger that's popping out. The interesting thing about ginger and turmeric, I grow them together. The ginger takes a long time to come up. The turmeric takes forever. But obviously from the amount of this harvest here, it does grow in our Destin, Florida location. We are considered subtropical and we do have a long growing season. However, this thing doesn't need a super long growing season. It can grow in a bit shorter. I'd be interested to hear any of y'all from Tennessee or Arkansas, South Carolina, if any of you have ever grown turmeric successfully. But this is how it grows, and it will come out of the ground looking real orange like this. Now, this stuff has been sitting around for, actually, I think it's 2 weeks this week. Yeah, I think it is 2 weeks today that this stuff has been sitting around. So it's starting to dry a little bit, but it's still good. It's still plenty good in there. And I've got a few pieces here where you can see the original root in my fingers and the hands of turmeric. I do have, like this right here, this gnarly thing right here was the center of a big old turmeric plant. This definitely was one of the original pieces of turmeric that I planted back in the spring. There's a few of them in here. I'm actually going to stick them back in the ground. They feel very firm. I'm curious to know if they will grow. I plan to plant these in a couple of months. This is January. What is today? The 11th of 2025, and I'll be planting these in the ground along with a lot of good pieces. Well, not a lot in the garden. I planted way too much, hence 10 pounds of turmeric. I don't need that much turmeric. However, turmeric is a beautiful plant. When you get it to bloom, oh my goodness, you can see here the blooms on this turmeric. Just amazing, the foliage, these big broad leaves, and this really stiff stalk of flowers that comes up out of the middle of it. I just love it, and I think it's amazing. We are going to be planting this around the garden. We have the meadow area, which you see in the outer garden bed tour. We have a couple of pollinator beds in the front garden tours that you see. We have a few places that we're going to put it in the raised beds, but it does need to have understory cover, shade over it. It grows best as an understory because that's what it is adapted to. And so anyway, we're going to be taking these pieces. We are going to be cleaning them up and turning them into dehydrated turmeric so that I can grind it up into powder as I need it. I will be storing it as dehydrated turmeric. Turmeric is, of course, what gives the curry its orange color. It is an orange spice. In fact, let me take one finger and they just break them off, the hands like that. If I take this one finger and cut it open, you can see that thing is as orange as a carrot. Now, that orange will stain, you can see I've already got a little orange on my finger right there. This thing will stain everything it touches. So because of that, I recommend using gloves unless you want orange fingers for a week or two, because they will give you orange fingers. We use these nitrile gloves, and the black is just what they sell at our local Ace Hardware. I buy a box of these about once every 2 or 3 years, and we use them for hot peppers and turmeric and a few other things that we don't want to get all over our hands. And so yeah, good idea if you don't want orange fingers. Now, a lot of these are actually look really good pieces. We are going to clean up some of these and expose the nice orange flesh. Some of these really look good. We are simply dehydrating these, folks. We're going to be storing them in a vacuum sealed mason jar with a moisture absorption pack, and yeah, it's just going to sit there until we need it. I'm on my last bottle of powdered turmeric that I eat in my eggs every morning, and there's a lot of health benefits. I've said this already in the intro, and I'll say it again. I can tell when I haven't been getting my turmeric, especially in my joints. My joints will be sore, my shoulders, my knees, my hips. I have problems with them anyway, but early problems, nothing serious. But I can tell if I've been missing my turmeric for a couple of days. Oh yeah, I can tell. And it really helps with the aching joints. It helps with that inflammation, and it's true. In fact, we'll talk about those health benefits here in just a few minutes. So I got my gloves on, and we're going to get right down to cleaning. I'll move this bowl out of the way. Well, a few of the things I have a bowl here for waste. I have a couple of trays for the dehydrator, which we'll end up probably filling a few. You can probably hear the dehydrator. We just shot part of the garlic video, and the garlic is in there right now. You can smell the garlic in this house. It smells like a Italian eatery in here, and it is almost to a point where it's kind of burning your eyes a little bit. We will not be sleeping with that running in the house. I will probably put that out in the Florida room and have that out there, maybe with a window open. I don't know. It's supposed to get pretty cold tonight, but the dehydrator will be just fine in running out there. So yeah, a little waste bowl over here, just tons and tons of turmeric here. If I say garlic or ginger, I've got garlic and ginger on my brain when I'm talking about the turmeric. So please forgive me. I'll try to put in there on the bottom turmeric when I really mean turmeric and I say the wrong thing. So just know my ADD brain is not always the best. We are going to be slicing this. If you see the garlic video, you'll notice I didn't use the mandolin. Those pieces were a little small and fiddly. We will be using the mandolin for these, which will make it a lot faster. I can't get all of it down, but these things are long enough that I can just run these things through the mandolin and slice them up, and we'll be good. And I will be slicing them crossways, so there will be a lot of little slices. But we'll lay them out on the sheet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do them flatwise. I'm not feeling very confident in doing that. We'll test that when we get to the mandolin. So, yeah. One of the things I'm going to be doing here is when I clean them, is I'm going to be using a cheap spoon. We have a few different grades of spoons in our drawers. We have some nicer ones which normally have the edges rounded over a lot. These are the cheapest ones you get at Walmart. They're stamped. They have this little burr on the edge of them when you buy them, and along the edge of the handle. So I like using these because of that burr that is on that edge. It does a real good cleaning. And we'll see, in fact, you can see there, I just got that thing all cleaned off right there, just real easily. Now, you could use a carrot peeler. I don't like using a carrot peeler on things like this because it just simply takes too much away. And I don't want to lose that much. Frankly, that's just all there is to it. Smell that turmeric. I want to keep as much of this in my process as possible. So when I clean these, I will just use the spoon. It does it very light. I'm not pushing very hard at all. It just does very light, takes the smallest amount of skin off, and does so much better than a carrot peeler. Carrot peeler is good. Well, it's a carrot slicer is what it is. It makes little slices of carrots, and I don't want that much coming off of there. You can see there, that's this whole thing cleaned off right there, plus about 2 more pieces here. But it's not a lot, and it does a good job. So we'll be taking these, cleaning them up, putting them in that bowl, and putting the waste over here. So let's get on with it. I will be setting some of these aside. I'm going to put stuff in here that I'm going to plant everywhere. We'll start with this bowl here and get moving. But while I'm doing the cutting here, we'll talk a little bit about some of the health benefits of turmeric. So one of the big benefits of turmeric is that it has curcumin in it. And curcumin it's a part of a category of compounds called the curcuminoids, and it's the most important compound of that category, and it's the active ingredient in turmeric. And there's a lot about this curcumin that has been studied for a very long time. This may be one of the most important foods that we can include for many, many reasons in our diet. Turmeric contains these bioactive compounds with medical properties, with proven medical properties. It's proven a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's proven to be very good, strong antioxidant. That said, the curcumin content of turmeric is only 1 to 6% by weight. Most studies of this herb use turmeric extracts that contain mostly curcumin itself, with dosages usually exceeding 1 gram per day, which means it would be hard to reach these levels by just using turmeric as a spice. But I'll admit, I put a lot of it on my eggs every morning. Another benefit of turmeric and the curcumin, which it is that natural inflammatory, anti-inflammatory even. And like I said before, I take this every day, and those days that I forget, if I forget 2 to 3 days in a row, I can really tell. My shoulders, my hips, my knees will start to feel sore. It just does so much for me. Turmeric can increase the antioxidant capacity of the body. Oxidative damage is believed to be one of the mechanisms behind aging and many diseases. It involves free radicals, highly reactive molecules with unpaired electrons. Free radicals tend to react with the important organic substances such as fatty acids, proteins, or DNA. One of the things that curcumin can do is it boosts brain-derived neurotrophic factors. Even in adulthood, brain neurons are capable of forming new connections, and in certain areas of the brain, they can multiply and increase in number. And of course, that is going to just improve the brain function. Curcumin may lower your risk of heart disease, which is very exciting to me. I don't know that I have any challenges with heart disease right now, but I do feel like we can take every measure to keep those problems at bay. Turmeric may help prevent cancer. In fact, curcumin has been studied as a beneficial herb in cancer treatments. It has been found to affect cancer growth and development. There are a lot of studies on this. Go to the art if you want to see more on that. You can go to the article on healthline.com, which I'll link in the description below. Curcumin may be useful in treating Alzheimer's disease. Again, back to that brain power and improving the brain's ability to heal and develop and connect between cells. Arthritis patients respond well to curcumin supplements. More study is needed to understand if curcumin can actually help replace such drugs as treatment for arthritis, inflammation, pain. Curcumin has benefits against depression. Again, it's getting back to that brain development and the improved function. Curcumin may help delay aging and fighting age-related chronic diseases. If curcumin can really help prevent
heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's. It may have benefits for longevity as well. This suggests that curcumin may have potential as an anti-aging supplement. As far as warnings for turmeric, they do say that people who are pregnant or nursing, people who have gallbladder or kidney problems, those with bleeding disorders, diabetes or iron deficiencies should limit turmeric. Now, I'm diabetic. I use turmeric and I haven't had any difficulties with it. I don't have any kidney or gallbladder problems either. If you have any of these conditions, ask your doctor before taking turmeric, and I certainly did. There is research suggesting that curcumin will help with reducing belly fat, which I can feel confident that it certainly helped me out. Bottom line, turmeric, and especially its most important active compound, curcumin, has many scientifically proven health benefits, such as the potential to improve heart health and prevent Alzheimer's and cancer.
So here we have 6 trays of turmeric. It was in the dehydrator. I did leave it in our Septree dehydrator. It's been in here about 24 hours, mainly because I didn't have time this morning. This is Sunday morning. We do a lot of stuff on Sunday morning, and hadn't had time until this afternoon to actually get to this. So I left this thing on a pretty low temperature, continuing to run until this afternoon. We're about 20 hours later, but here's the thing, folks. This stuff is brittle. It just snaps. Now, I will show you in comparison, a piece of the garlic is still, okay, now that actually snapped pretty good. You see that one kind of bends? That one is not quite ready yet. So some of this might be close to ready. That one the edge broke off, but kind of bends. I have a feeling it's probably because this garlic was frozen. May take a little bit longer. It's starting to get a little browned in some areas. We may have to go, and that's another video you can watch. But this turmeric is definitely ready to come out. It was fresh turmeric, and it's ready to come out of here. You can see we have 6 trays in here of turmeric ready to go. Now again, remember folks, we are in a construction zone around here, so we're kind of makeshifting some of this, but I'm just going to be pulling these trays out and taking them over to the table where we can process this turmeric. And I'm dropping some. Oh, I can smell it. Yeah. Woo. So let's get this over to the table where we can do something with this. And of course it's been raining outside, so we had to bring in all our cushions, and a little bit crowded in space here, but we'll make this work. Again, construction zone, limited on space. I do want to point out again though, this stuff, this is the turmeric. And as I already showed you, I ended up slicing it long ways, a lot quicker, but it was very brittle. It is extremely brittle. And first thing I want to do is I want to put this in here. Now I've got a few supplies here that I am going to be using. And you'll notice here, this tray is actually just an old cookie sheet with some parchment paper on it. And I like using this because I can easily take it and make a funnel out of it and pour it into something if I need to. I can also use it to fold this over and crunch it up a little bit if I need to make it smaller. I also have here, we have our old grinder. We've used this grinder mostly for flaxseed, cloves, ginger. We very seldom use it for coffee. I know it looks old. It is pretty old. It's just a $20 grinder from Walmart, folks. That's all it is. It's just a cheap grinder from Walmart. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be taking all these trays, and we're going to just dump this turmeric out onto these trays so that we can work on processing them. And all the turmeric that I tested here is just as brittle as anything, brittle as it needs to be, and that's the best. Now, folks, again, I know I mentioned the freeze dryer before. If you've got a freeze dryer, you know this process is a bit different. We don't have a freeze dryer yet. We only have the dehydrator, and it does us good. It was a dehydrator I got off of Amazon. I like the stainless steel, and so we're going to use, and you've heard me say this a lot throughout this whole gardening experience, we're going to use what we have. And that's what we have, folks. I am not the kind of person just to go out and spend thousands of dollars just yet on something that, frankly, I'm not as good as I need to be yet. So saving turmeric, this is the first time I will be saving turmeric on this scale. And I would like to know that I can do it well and a few other things well before I start spending that much money. We do have a freeze dryer on our list, trust me. I look forward to the day. Keep an eye out for the videos, but until then, we're going to use what we have, folks, and that's been the theme of my whole garden because, you know, I started out on that 14-foot patio growing tomatoes in grow bags. We had up to 40 grow bags on that little 14-foot patio, which was really quite laughable. But, you know, we use what we have, folks. That's it. We use what we have. And this is what I have. I have some parchment paper. I have an old cookie sheet. And we are going to grind up this turmeric. I have a little bottle to put it in. This is actually my last turmeric bottle. The last, no, I can't say the last one I bought. I have one more purchased turmeric that I'm still working on, but that will be the last purchased turmeric. I am hoping we can fill this and maybe one more bottle like this. I don't know how much this is going to make, frankly. The other thing that I have here is a metal mesh sieve here. This actually does really good to get the fine particles through and filter out anything large that needs to go back into the grinder. I have a funnel here. A good set of funnels is hard to beat, folks. We have funnels in our kitchen. I have funnels out. Remember, I'm a handyman, so I have funnels out in the garage. The ones out in the garage are a different color than the white ones that are in the kitchen. White ones stay in the kitchen. There's actually a gray one as well, which stays on the back of the sink. If you watch some of the videos from the kitchen, you know there's a gray funnel. That's our water filtering funnel. It's all that ever gets used for. This gets used for food stuff. Sometimes you'll see me using these with the hot sauce, putting hot sauce in jars. And we'll be using it to put it in here. And I also have a couple of extra bowls in case we need it. I figure we can sift this into here and then pour from there. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, right? We're just figuring this out. This is the first time I've done turmeric this way, so bear with me. Ooh, I just tore right through that parchment paper. Okay. So, that being said, let's get some of this turmeric. Now, folks, this grinder is ours dedicated to foodstuffs, dried foodstuffs. Like I said, seeds, stuff like this, ginger, dried stuff. And so it does really good. It is nothing special, folks. It is just a coffee grinder that you get at Walmart in their home department. That is it. It actually is pretty well cleaned up. We keep it fairly clean. It doesn't get used for anything nasty, of course. But we're going to go here and we're just going to grind this up. Now, folks, if you got your NutriBullet, if you got your other things that do this better, by all means, use it. I'm not saying don't use that. Use what you have. Use what you have, folks. I think we've established that theme already. So, if I dump this in here, you'll notice that I can just kind of knock this thing a little bit like this, and a lot of that fine, fine powder goes through into, that's turmeric, people. That is the spice turmeric. And it's better than the stuff you get in the store because it's organic. Now, I actually have organic turmeric. In fact, this was an organic turmeric, the jar here. But looky there. There we go. I'm going to pour this back in here to continue on. And I'm going to put more in here. I'm excited. Oh, my goodness. We're getting turmeric here. My hand's turning a little bit orangish. That's okay. I do want to show you. So, remember that cutting board that I was using yesterday? It was all orange and it's stained and everything. I stuck the cutting board in the dishwasher and it came out clean. I'm so excited. I was worried about that. I'll admit, I had a concern there, but it came out clean. So there we go. So that was about a minute of grinding on this cheap Walmart. Oh, doggone it. Okay, I didn't use the sieve. Let's try that again. Folks, this ain't sophisticated, okay? It ain't sophisticated. It's actually pretty good. Still have a few more little bits in there. We'll continue on. That's a lot of turmeric, people. I mean, a whole lot. It might actually be more than I thought I would have gotten, but we're going to try to put as much of it into this jar. And if we need to, we'll get a second jar. If you've ever done this, tell me below how it went for you. Or if you're thinking about doing this, tell me about it. I want to hear. But yeah, so I'm just going to start pouring gently in here. We've already sifted it out through that nice little strainer. And oh yeah, we're going to have more than a jar here. I am folks, I'm nothing short of proud. I'll admit. I am pretty proud of this little harvest. Look at there. Beautiful, beautiful turmeric. I am so pleased. Let me go get another jar real quick. That is so hard to believe. I just cannot get over how beautiful that looks. Let me show you up close and personal. Can you even tell which one is mine and which one was bought from the store? Nope, this one on the left, this is bought from a store. These both are my own turmeric grown from my own garden. Isn't that so cool? So be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life. We like doing stuff like this, and I love sharing it with you. This is just the neatest thing. We dug this out of the ground a week ago, a little over a week ago, and today we have 2 new bottles of turmeric. This is a lot of turmeric, folks. It's going to last me probably a little better than a year of the way I eat it. So I am just beyond thrilled that I have grown my own turmeric. Isn't that the coolest thing? Very exciting. Appreciate you coming along. Those of you who have subscribed, I appreciate you subscribing. And you've really made Bowtie Life what it is today. And we are working on ginger right now. We're working on some garlic over there. We're doing some garlic powder. We're not doing ginger powder. We have some of that already. We are doing other stuff with our ginger, which is very exciting. If you didn't see the pickled ginger, go back and look at that video. It's going to be link to it will be on the closing screen right after this. Y'all have a blessed day.